and put it on us, but I thought Gorgie made some great saves throughout the course of the game. We limited some scoring chances through the middle portion of the game pretty well, but a couple of chances we gave up were good ones. So, I kind of say this all the time. Like, I didn't hate. I mean, I didn't like the chances we gave up. There wasn't a bunch of them. I thought it was pretty tight checking for both teams for the most part of the game, but. Again, they capitalized on some early, and we got the better of them, taking care of our chances in the middle portion of the game. It's part of it. I tell our guys all the time, it's the only score that matters is one at the end of the night, and you got to play the full 60 and sometimes more.
Jesse, then Pierre.
Coach, you just said that it took you guys a little bit to get to your game. By the numbers, it maybe didn't say that it should have been 3-0 after the first. I guess. What was your guys' message in between, and then when did you feel that the tide really started to shift for you guys?
Well, there was some things we needed to do better. First, we addressed that. Like we were disorganized on the D zone arrival on the first goal. We were running around all over the place. The point's open, no one's going, and multiple guys are going. There was guys open all over the place. They executed through it and then shot it through the screen. So that's on us. Quick face-off play hits our guy. I think Gorgie's probably making that save. I didn't love the shooting lane we had there, but then it hits I think it hit Cale's stick and changes direction, goes over him. There's no real chance. They make a play, they got a bounce, they won the draw. It was well executed on their part, and they get a bounce off. And we got some bounces too. Like we had some. Good opportunities. We hit a few posts. I felt like the game started to come for us a little late in the first, and then second period we kind of started doing a little bit more of what we would like to see and simplifying our game a little bit. And they were more competitive in the first period, and our lack of discipline didn't help, right? So you're killing penalties the whole time. You got a 5-on-3 after they already take the lead. It's kind of putting you on your heels, but we rebounded nicely in the second period and started to get ready to go.
Here.
Hey, Jared, can we get your review of the overtime goal? Miles Wood, bottom six winger. He's always been a great skater. Not known perhaps for that type of goal, but your view of what he delivered there.
Well, I we were spending some time in our zone in overtime. We got caught out there tired multiple times in overtime, and guys just looking to get rid of the puck. Like we lacked some poise coming out of our zone when tired, right? And they kept quick up in it, and we had some stretches like that in the second period, and we're hoping to try and do it again in the overtime, and they kind of did it to us. So we were scrambling around a little bit in D zone coverage, defending hard, and but good poise. Like that was a fresher line that was out there. It was good poise. Cogliano goes in and helps make the defensive play to get the puck back, and instead of just turning and firing it or giving it back to him in the neutral zone, he gets his eyes up, and Wood was fresh and went slashing through their D, and Cogs made a nice play to get it to him. And I mean, when Woody gets going like that, he's hard to stop. He's fast and he's powerful, and he just took it to the house. Great skill play. He got a similar goal that he got lucky on here during the regular season, actually. I think he missed that exact same play, and it went in 5-hole. But you need, it's such a tight game, and it's a game of mistakes, but it's also capitalizing on your opportunities, and someone's got to do it if you're going to win. And it happened to be Woody tonight, so I thought he did a great job staying with that puck and driving it hard to the net and hoping for something good to happen.
To follow up on Miles, this team signed him to a long-term contract in the summer. How much growth have you seen out of him just in this one season, and how much more do you think he can grow as a player?
Yeah, I think there's more for sure. But he's made good strides, like you get a player from another organization, the role's different, the coaching's different, the team plays to a different identity. We want him to play to his strengths, but also sort of meet our identity and continue to grow and take the next steps. And we've seen a lot of growth out of a lot of our guys, some that have been with us, some that have come in. Like we're always trying to, that's what you're trying to get out of everyone in your team. Like once they establish something that's part of their game and they're consistent with, you're trying to like keep adding to it, and it's a two-way street. It's from the coaches and skills coaches, strength coaches, everyone trying to get them to make, incremental improvements, and then it's also on the player to want to learn and try to take the next steps and become a better, well-rounded player, both on the offensive side and defensive side. And guys that are rock solid defensively, you're trying to get them to add to their game on the offensive side, and vice versa. So, but I think we've seen significant growth out of Miles, and like if you remember when he first came to us, he didn't even penalty kill. Now he's out there all the time, and he's found a really good role there. So it's extra minutes for him. Again, that's what I'm kind of talking about. The role can change for a player, and they have to be able to adapt if they want to stay in the league and be productive, and he's done that.
Jared, you've talked about Gorgie's ability, good or bad, to stay in the moment and stay in the process. You talk about individually some of those saves, the last 5 minutes of regulation, and then through the OT as you were trying to get yourself started up the other way.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it wasn't just those. There was, we didn't give up a lot of scoring chances in the second and third, but we gave up a couple A chances that I looked at. We, off the rush late in the period, third period, I think it was, they get a really good chance with Hintz coming through there. Like, we made some mistakes, but he stayed with the puck, and he looked really athletic on a couple of the saves that may have taken some funny bounces or plays they made side to side down low in the zone. And they're huge. Every save you can make that's a or B chance, like a good quality chance, it's well executed by Dallas. I mean, you got to take it, and maybe a little bad luck from him on the first few goals. First one, he didn't see it. I've kind of gone through those, but he certainly stepped up as the game went on, and we've seen that from him here in these playoffs.
Last two, Corey, then Colin. I think everybody sort of talked in a couple days before this series about how great Dallas is, and this was going to be a step up from the last series. So just maybe that second and third period, was that sort of like a proof of concept for your team of how you want to play against them?
Yeah, yes. I mean, we certainly have a bunch of things that we can do better than we did tonight, right? But, I mean, if you're surprised that Dallas is a really good team when you watch them play or pre-scout them or watch their regular season, watch what they did in the first round against a difficult Vegas team, then you're not informed, right? This is a very good hockey team. I think I said this in the first round, you could pick 16 teams, and, if they play the way they can and consistently enough, then they have a chance to win. And when you get down to 8, it's certainly the case. I mean, you're watching the series go on around the league. You're impressed by every team and what they do for stretches of the game. It's just being able to do it long enough and hard enough, and Dallas is the same way. We're the same way. Like, if you're fortunate enough to play your best hockey for this 2 weeks and survive and advance, like, I think we got a chance to win, and I think they do, and I think the Oilers do, and I think Van does. So that's just the way it is. But you got to go prove it, and you got to go earn it.
You said earlier today that the team was just kind of antsy to get back out there and get on the ice and get going again after a week's rest. Valmachushkin comes out, and this is now his goal in every single game, now 6 games in. Was that kind of did they just need to settle down a little bit kind of after that first period?
I think we needed to ramp up, not settle down. That was an intense hockey game, and we got caught watching a few times. Like, I don't want to say lazy, but the work ethic and intensity and commitment that you need wasn't there early. So we're giving up chances, we're taking penalties, reaching, tripping, we're not using our legs to skate and check. Like we had lapses or momentary lapses in our game that put us on our heels, and you can't rest on the ice in the NHL in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Not against a team like Dallas, right? I mean, we were doing some resting out there. We were watching other guys work, and it's got to be. It wasn't fluid. The work wasn't fluid enough as a group of 5 is what it needed to be, and it got there. And we still got another step we can take. I'm sure of it.
Thanks, Jared.
Yep, thank you.
Miles Wood and Cale McCarr.
I'm not sure I can spit out words at this point. You did. And then I said no overtime.
Because you said six try, maybe they could get one. And I was gonna look down and be like, "You're right."
I didn't look over.
Let's get over.
That's exactly what I said.
Unbelievable. Oh man.
Now you're in my way.
I'll move. Thank you. Here we go.
Take questions from Miles Wood and Cale McCarr.
Miles, just to start us off here, take us through the scoring play and overtime and also that celebration. Seems like you guys had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, Cogs just made a great play there. Just kind of chipped it through the neutral zone there and just kind of skated on it. And, it's just so happy that the puck crossed the goal line there. And the best part was celebrating with the teammates. They were so happy out there, and that's what it's all about.
Cale, a couple years ago we saw Josh Manson make a big save on the goal line in the second round as well. He did it again tonight when it was a 3-0 game. Just talk about that moment, and is that something you guys can try to build off of going into the intermission there?
For sure. Obviously, you never want to give up opportunities where you got to put guys to make big saves like that. I mean, Georgie came up huge for us quite a few times as well. So, obviously, Manson's playing really well and good defensive play.
Miles, right before you're able to go make that rush, to Cale's point, Georgie comes up with a handful of saves consecutively. Mm-hmm. What has he meant to you guys? Not, obviously on this whole run, but tonight in particular.
Yeah, he's been huge for us. In the first series, he was great for us. And, the first period, 3 goals were let in there. But the bounce back that he showed was outstanding. And he's a big part of this team.
For both you guys, Coach was just in here and said he tells you all the time the only score that matters is the one at the end of the game. Do you guys kind of take that to the extreme sometimes, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly an ideal spot when we're down, playing down from 3 goals. I mean, some of those I felt like it was a closer game at that point than the score indicated. I mean, a couple of the goals went off us, one went off my stick. So, but at the end of the day, it's playoff hockey. There's just no quit, and you never really know. I think that's just. If you're going to look at this game, I just feel like as a group, we just kind of stuck with it and grinded it out, and fortunately found a way to win it. So,
Miles, we had Coach Bednar in here earlier, and he mentioned that you've made significant growth as a player just in your first season here, and that you have more ways to go as well. How would you describe that process, and how much you feel like you've grown as a player here?
Yeah, It's been great, my first year here, and, the guys have been great. We have a lot of depth on this team, so it doesn't matter who I play with. They're all great players here, and more importantly, great guys. So, I'm super happy to be here, and hopefully we can play till June.
So, your entire time in New Jersey, I know there were nights where you were frustrated by not scoring on a breakaway, not scoring on chances like that. You had one against them earlier this year too. Just your first career overtime goal was a breakaway in the playoffs. What does that sort of mean to you?
Yeah, I don't really play in OT as is. 3-on-3 is not my thing. So playoff OT is, I was just happy to be out there, and it was just a great win by our guys, and the job's not done yet.
Cale, you said it's not ideal to be having to play from behind, but what can you say about the mindset of this team, knowing that you guys can fall behind and still come back? And I guess what was kind of the message in the locker room after that first period?
Yeah, I mean, just the message was keep grinding. I think obviously for us, when you put yourself in a position like that, it's tough mentally. Obviously, you don't want to make mistakes and stuff, but I think our mindset's just kind of flipped. Obviously, we want to be aggressive and force them to make mistakes as well. So I think it just was, guys know that once we play to our strengths and play to our game, that we start producing good things. So again, it's a very resilient group in there, and yeah.
A key part in the comeback is drawing a penalty and then scoring on the power play. Can you tell me about what it means to take over the game almost single-handedly in that moment? Was that something you take ownership of and pride in?
That's an interesting question. Not really. I don't think it'd take individual ownership of that, but I didn't really think about that, I guess, causing the penalty there. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think for us on the power play, especially Game 1, we want to be able to create momentum, especially at that point in the game. I don't know if we were down 3-1 or 3-0, so we want to be able to create momentum for the guys, and felt like we did that. So.
Great, thanks, everyone.